the next path in the Epic of Pain that I want to cover is going to be this Nebula path. And we need to take this with tech and science. And this is a really weird path. So I remember on the live stream they said that like every path would have a little bit of a secondary node to change a little bit of how the fights worked, but it would be very secondary. It would feel a lot like Hurt Locker was the example that they gave. This node, I don't think qualifies into that at all. This node that they're going to add to this path completely changes how all of your fights want to be approached. Basically, the goal is to find debuff spammers. In this case, I'm using Silk, Photon, and Ironheart, and use them just by inflicting as many debuffs as possible and killing the defenders in any way that they allow you to. So, for example, I'm using Silk, and I just want to hit Nebula while she's stunned, and that's about it. That's the goal of the fight. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the design choice there, but I didn't design the quest. I shouldn't really be commenting on it. I just think that the difference between Hurt Locker and a node like this is immense, and it's really weird. It encourages you to not really build a team around the defenders. It encourages you to build a team that just spams debuffs. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting more so for the Cosmic and Skill lane, which is going to be the next video. I haven't done it yet, but that's the next thing I'm going to do, is Cosmic and Skill. So I need to find debuff spammers in those two classes, which is going to be a lot more limited, because Tech Champs and Science Champs are definitely more known for spamming debuffs than Cosmic and Skill are. So, yeah, this Nebula goes down. Like I said, we're just using like light, medium, heavy with Silk, just trying to inflict a bunch of debuffs. And then we just move on to the next fight, which is going to be against this Northstar here. Ironheart, I had her at rank 1, and then I rank 2'd her for the Warlock fight coming up. And then I realized, oh wait, she's just going to be really good for this too. I'm planning on using Photon for this fight, and then I found out Ironheart's going to be good for it because she has a really OP tracking. She is going to basically never worry about miss. And you're going to see me spamming SP1s in this fight. There's like no reason for that. You just kind of want to use your medium attacks and do 4-hit combos is what I do, because that maximizes the amount of debuffs you can inflict in one combo with the minimum amount of hits. So we're just doing 4-hit combos. The tracking is like always there, and then ideally dexing Northstar specials, which I say that and then that's the only time I think I missed exit the whole fight. But I don't even know what Ironheart's SP3 does. I just kind of threw it to hopefully get some adrenaline healing back, but I wasn't going to because of the ways the node is set up. But there I do, so I don't really know. Adrenaline's weird. Anyway, it's really simple with Ironheart. If you don't have her, it's going to be a lot harder, but I was originally going to use Photon for this, and Photon also would do very good for it. So, now we're fighting Destroyer. I know some people don't like watching these fights sped up, but there's legitimately not enough for me to say about them to warrant them being at full speed. Like, everything that I'm saying in like the 1.5 minute that the fight is on screen is like all I can come up with. It's just kind of how it works with this node design, I feel like. But anyway, with Destroyer, we do the 4-hit combos and stuff, and just I'm doing 5-hit combos here, but you just hit him with basic attacks and eventually he's gonna drop. Like, I don't know. Photon kind of destroys this fight. Destroyer is one of the easiest bosses in the whole quest, mainly because of the root node they gave, making him easier. So, yeah, we're just hitting him a bunch. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm sorry if this is boring. I just don't know what to say about the fight. I was able to, like, make decent conversation about, like, the first path. This one I just have, like, nothing to add on to. For at least these first 3 fights. One interesting fight, the Warlock fight, and I'm going to have some things to say about that. Anyway, this Destroyer is just about dead. He's at 7% there, and then we're going to kill him right there. So, the next fight is, I don't remember who it is. Who is it? Oh, it's Photon herself. Okay, so, fun fact, I thought I tapped on Silk for this fight. but I was using Photon. And I was like, oh, I was planning on using Silk for this fight. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna solo this with Photon anyway. But legitimately, I wanted to use Silk here. And I thought I tapped her, but apparently I didn't. So, it's the same strategy as Destroyer. It's just find more different ways to not get hit. In this case, when Photon's in Pure Light, you need to parry the special 1 and stuff and not push your SP2. Also, the power gain node is kind of interesting. Basically, you're going to gain power throughout the fight. You don't ever want to reach 0 power, and you don't ever want to drop special attacks twice in a row within 15 seconds. So, you don't want to reach 3 bars of power, because after you drop that, then you're going to be at 0 again and take damage, right? So the goal is to use another node that she has, where you're going to use a light attack into Photon's block, and that's going to place a Petrify on you. That is going to limit your power gain and make it to where you're not reaching the 3 bars of power and always having special attacks when you're ready for them and not too fast. So you want to utilize that Petrify from hitting Photon's block as often as possible, and then you will ideally never reach 3 bars or 0 bars. So that's the Photon fight. Now we're going to fight Adam Warlock, and this was one of the trickiest fights for me to plan. When I was making my team, I realized, oh, I need a champion who has at least 3 buffs, and that kind of completely eradicates the entire science class for this fight, especially when I need 7-star gated gems. Because I looked at like the 7-star gated champs and I couldn't see like any that would work for this. So I had to look at the tech class, find champions who had buffs, and ideally work with debuff spam. My original plan was using OG Iron Man, because he's going to gain a bunch of armor as well and place debuffs much more limited than Ironheart is. And then I saw Ironheart and like, oh, wait, that actually would work. So I rank 2'd my Ironheart for this fight. The only thing you have to do is use Rupture pre-fight, because, as you know, Adam Warlock gains the energy protection buff. So that's gonna make all of your frickin' incinerates go away. So we have to use the Rupture pre-fight, and then just try to keep 3 armor ups. And it's simple once you get the rhythm. As you saw, I ate an SP3 earlier in the fight, but now I'm in a rhythm. Basically, all you need to do is keep baiting his SP1s, retaliate with your mediums unless you need armor up. Then you're going to use your light ending combos and keep getting the armor ups. So, at that point, you keep countering his specials with your mediums, or you will use a special 1 if you need to get the Soul Barb onto him. There, I was too slow, because if you relic into heavy, you don't have enough time, unless you're using like a faster relic, which some relics are going to be faster than the Sentinel one. Anyway, so here, what's going to happen is he's going to drop the SP2 in a moment, when he feels like it, and then I'm going to counter it with the heavy. Normally, Adam Warlock could stun you if you hit into his pod. However, when he has a Soul Barb on him, which he's going to if you keep retaliating with heavies or specials against his specials. At that point, you just need to keep your armor ups up, keep spamming your mediums once they are, and he's going to go down eventually. I died there, that's okay, we're just going to use a revive. Except, one thing that you should not do, that I did. This is a PSA, do not frickin' do this. I used Quick Heal here, and I expected, which I probably shouldn't have expected this, but I expected that the Rupture pre-fight would carry over. As you can see, it does not. So now, after using Quick Heal, we're inflicting Incinerates, and then here he has his pod, and now he's got 60 seconds of Incinerate immunity. So I am completely screwed. So, yeah, I waited out the 60 seconds, eventually died, and now I'm going back in with the Rupture pre-fight. So, PSA, do not use Quick Heal if you have a champion who relies on pre-fights. Pretty simple. I just didn't consider that. So, now we're going back in. So that means it was 2 revives on Adam Warlock, which kind of sucks. But it's okay. I mean, I obviously want to save as many revives as possible for Ares. because spoiler alert, I used 30 revives on run number 1 and just about 30 revives on run number 2. So I needed a lot of revives for this quest. So using 2 on the path does not feel great. And it's going to be 3 on the path because I'm going to die to this Aegon. But I mean, 3 on the path is fine. Like, we're taking these 6 bosses and only 3 revives. I'll take it, right? It's not that bad. It's just I'm being really conservative with them right now. So this Aegon, I could have used Silk here. I could have used Ironheart here. This Aegon is very much a skill-based fight. The goal is to save a special for when he roots you. At least that's what I like to do. Use it when he roots you. And then, every time you drop a special, or he drops a special, I don't remember which one, you need to counter him with a heavy. So the ways to do that are by either pushing him to SP2 and then heavy countering after, because you can't heavy counter the SP1, but you can heavy counter the SP2. Or, you save your relic for when you need to get a free heavy attack, and then use it. At that point, as you can see, that didn't connect because I was rooted, obviously. We're going to go relic into heavy, and then we're fine. So, the intercept portion of this node, where you're going to gain a thing that makes sure you can't be crit and gives you extra block proficiency, that portion is going to be useful for if you want to get the charges that are going to root you eventually off of you. If you don't know, every 8 seconds he's going to place a charge on you. Once that charge reaches 3, you're going to get rooted. However, if you block a hit, you remove a charge. So normally that's a problem because Aegon will crit you through the block and kill you in literally 1 blocked hit. However, if you have the intercept thing, it's going to make it to where you can't get crit and give you extra block proficiency. So that's another way to avoid the root, if you just don't want to save a special. I died there. I accidentally blocked a hit that I forgot was going to be unblockable, but we just go in with Silk and then he's down. So before we go into Ares, I'm going to refresh you guys on the cheat sheet I made. Sword, block. Axe, dodge. Spear, light. Gun, swipe up. Those are the 4 ways of avoiding hits versus Ares' specials. And then his special animations I have below. This is difficult. It is very difficult to get all of these done correctly. Specifically, I think the hardest one is sword, because the block needs to be a well-timed block, not just block. I should have probably specified that in the notes. You have to well-time block the sword, not just block it. So it gets very difficult at times. You're going to see I'm going to mess up constantly in these clips. But it's a cheat sheet that I used on my PC. I was like looking at my PC and fighting at the same time when I like need to pause the screen, check, and remember, okay, these are what the attacks on his specials are going to be. This is what I need to do to avoid the hits. As you're going to see, I'm going to pause here, and then I didn't get my well-timed block timed right, so I ate this special one. That's okay. I was rusty, and it's going to happen a lot again, because it's a very difficult fight. Anyway, we're going to die here, because I'm going to mess up the special one. What do you know? And then I don't block it in time. Yeah. I really wish it was just block instead of well-timed block. I think it's excessively difficult when it has to be well-timed block, but I didn't design the fight, and maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. But I'm having a harder time with this fight than a lot of people I know are. So maybe it's just me. It probably is just me. Anyway, there I go for a normal intercept. He doesn't feel like it, and I eat a hit. But it's okay. Here I'm getting the combos done pretty well. So now I have like 10 stacks of Vigor. I'm like, wow, okay, this might be a good run. We're going to go for Silk's SP2 here, then bait his SP1. It's really satisfying when you get that special done correctly, because it is very difficult, if you ask me. So there, I'm doing all the things correctly, and that's 3 specials in a row that I did correctly, and that's not going to be very frequent. I am going to mess them up, like on the first special he throws in the fight so many times. I think the special 1 is much easier to deal with than the special 2, which is, you know, cool, I guess. So once he's going to be able to be throwing the special 2s unpredictably, then I'm going to, like, die for 50 times. So, very fun stuff. Anyway, Dex, go for the parries. Oh, that one was early, apparently. Okay. It's the worst feeling in the world when you get that early. Because it's like, dude, I swear I did it at the right time. No, you didn't. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm baiting a special one here. Try to get one more special out of him, dex correctly, and of course I don't. So, luckily, Silk can eat hits. She also has some crit resist, which is actually kind of helpful in this fight, having some crit resist. So, anyway, I knew he was going to be stun immune there, but he's also intimidated, so... Yeah, at this point I'm like, oh, my vigor's gone. I forgot that that goes away between phases, which is kind of annoying, but it makes sense, honestly. So yeah, my vigor's gone, and it's just like, well, now I got 13% health in a dream to do like 1% of damage. Anyway, here he's gonna swing the axe, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I know what to do. The axe is the special one. So I do the dexes correctly. And I'm like, okay, can we please keep doing SP1s and not do the SP2? Because I hate the SP2. Like, I cannot stand it. Getting intercepts there. And here, Axe, and then my well-timed block was apparently early. So, there goes that run. If you watched my first video, you'll notice that on a lot of his special attacks, I would pause the fight and try to recognize, is that a sword or is that an axe? Because that will tell me what the special is. So here, like, I'll pause, and I see it's a sword. Okay, I know what to do. And in this attempt, I don't pause as much during the specials, mainly because I wanted to try to get better at not doing that. Did that increase, like, the item count I probably had at the end? Yeah, that probably likely did. You're seeing me do a lot of pauses here, but again, I'm not going to do that all the time. So, probably self-inflicted wounds? I don't really know. Either way, we got 2 specials down, dex correctly down in a row. I'm like, oh wow, let's go me. Look, and that makes 3? Yeah, let's go. Okay. It was weird. Like, I did pretty well, like, in my earlier attempts, and then you're gonna see, like, once we get to, like, phase 3, 4, 5, it's gonna be, like, so much worse for me. And okay, now we're in phase 3. This phase, I don't like it. It's just, I'm so focused on, like, dexing the special, avoiding the special correctly, that I can't even be bothered by, like, how I'm supposed to counter it. Because now we're going to get, like, the charges where it's like, okay, to counter his special, you have to dex and then medium. And I'm like, like, all of my attention span is focused on what the frickin' special is and what to do to not get hit by it, to even think about how I'm supposed to counter the special. I don't like that. The fight needs to be hard. It needs to be hard. I just don't like it. That's all I can say. Anyway. Apparently I didn't swipe up in time there. We're just gonna say I was late on that, even though I swear that was correctly timed. I don't know. Here I'm just trying to get an intercept out, and then he drops a heavy, which is perfect, so I can get an opening now. And then we go for an SP2 here, which, by the way, I said this last time, I'll say it again, not every death is going to be shown in this video, just because, like, this fight itself has, like, 40 minutes of recording time, so I didn't show everything. But that was a really, really good run, so of course I was going to show most of it. Anyway, every great run's got to die eventually, and that's when it happened. So, yeah, we're going to go back in. We're still in phase 3, so I still need to worry about how I'm countering his specials, assuming I even do the things correctly to avoid getting hit by them. We also have 9 vigor now, meaning that means I've died 9 times with Silk alone. So... Revive total is very fun. Here I see it's a sword, and I know what to do. I need to block, light, dex, swipe up. And then I actually did do the correct active aggression, which is like, oh wow, okay. I think that's because it was the easiest one. Like, if he gives you medium light, that's legitimately the easiest possible counter tool he can give you. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness you gave me medium light, because that's what I was going to do anyway, so I don't have to think. He drops an SP1 there, and then I don't even know. Oh, I think I was supposed to medium special, and like my brain treated it as medium heavy, so I got reversaled there. And I'm like, please, can I do a special right again? I'm probably not gonna do the active aggression correctly. Let's watch. Oh, I do do it correctly. Okay, that's nice. So here, let's get a little bit more damage before I die. Oh, we push him into phase 4. Okay, so. Gonna drop a special here. I do the correct things. He's unstoppable now, but it's fine. I just can't counter it. Which, you know what? Maybe it's better if I don't counter the specials, because if I try, I'm probably going to get reversaled anyway. So, you know what? If you're worried about getting reversaled, just don't counter the special attacks and wait a bit. That's actually not a bad strategy now that I think about it. And then I'm going to eat the SP1 here. I think I might have thought it was an SP2 or something. I didn't react fast enough. I don't know. So here I'm 12 revives deep with Silk alone, and he's at 22%. Let's see how well this goes. I don't remember. I edited the clips and then I started the voiceover, and now I just don't remember what most of the things were. So I need to medium light to counter his special. I've also been like so demoralized that I'm literally just dropping SP1s to do a little bit more damage before I die, because I like think I'm just gonna die to everything. So yeah, I do the medium light, complete the active aggression, because again, medium light's the easiest one, because it's what you're probably gonna do anyway. So here he gets his haste, and on my first attempt I forgot what haste was. I thought it was like unstoppable during a heavy or something, and then I realized, oh, it's unstoppable during dash, like Enchantress. I love playing Enchantress, I should know that. So anyway, haste can screw you up in this fight, but I find it more annoying for phase 5 than phase 4, because you really don't need to intercept in this phase, but you need to intercept in the phase upcoming. And then yeah, I didn't do the correct active aggression. I get reversaled and I die. So yeah, the reversal is, it's just, there's so much brain power that you need to maximize in this fight. Yeah, it's just not something I'm good at, you know. Anyway, he's at 5%. I'm just like, please go into the last phase. I'm so miserable. 13 revives deep on just Silk alone. And then phase 5 is going to make me use like a bunch of team revives. I think I thought that was going to be an SP2 as well. I wish there was more indication on what special he's throwing other than just pausing the fight before he swings an axe or uses the sword. I don't like it, but whatever. Not my design choice. I keep saying that. Like, I don't want to be critical of a fight that I didn't design, because I'm not a designer of endgame content. I'm not a designer of anything, so I don't want to criticize or complain, because obviously this is what they want it to be and what it probably should be. So yeah, the phase 5 is intercept a bunch and ideally nail his special attacks, which I'm not going to be very good at, because for some reason I'm going to get hit by virtually every special attack, even though you saw me get pretty consistent with getting the specials done correctly. Here I'm just going to like get hit by all of them. Like, see, oh look, I blocked too late that time. So yeah, we're going to try to keep doing intercepts, and then he doesn't want to play ball and he kills me, so why not? Yeah, we're 15 revives with Silk alone deep. I use team revives in phase 4, because it doesn't matter how much vigor you have persistently, you just want to get him down. Normally it's best to stick with one champion for the first phases and then team revive the phase 4, assuming you need a team revive, which maybe you don't. I just do, because I'm gonna die like a bajillion times. Anyway, yeah, another thing is that the lower his health gets, the more pointless using health potions are, because he's gonna degen you anyway, which I kind of like, because I don't have a lot of health potions to begin with, so it makes me feel like I don't need them, because they're just kind of pointless. But so that's kind of nice, I guess. And then apparently his light attack was thrown before my light attack, which, like, come on, man. Okay, he goes down, he's dead, it's finally over. That was the tech path, so I'm going to get a tech class crystal, and tech resources, so that's cool. I don't know if the next one is cosmic or skill. It's one of the two, though. And that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Maybe by the final round, I'll be using less than 10 revives on Ares. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I got a first-time Red Skull dupe, which is pretty lucky, actually. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.